So today is really meant to be like a festival where you can really brag about all the amazing accomplishments that you have made this semester. Before we start, here are some admin notes, and I'll also explain how the session today is going to go. Okay, first of all, just a reminder that the course evaluation is due tomorrow. And as I mentioned, there are some incentives, right? So you can get early access to your grades. It's also useful feedback for us to iterate on the course design. And separately, there is also the departmental TA evaluation. So thanks to all the amazing TAs this semester, all of you got a lot of mentoring support and grade support. So please make sure to provide feedback and also give them encouraging comments. So I just made a Piazza post about this, which also has a link to the form that you can fill in. So please do that in your free time. Okay, and finally we're going to release a form about peer and self-assessment, which is meant to sort of help you reflect on the entire semester teamwork. And this is not to be really graded, but we just want to better understand how different teams have worked together. So we're going to release the form on Piazza. It should only take about 5 minutes, and that's due on June 19th. Okay, and for the nano quiz today, we're going to skip. So today's class is a 2-hour session, and here's how it's going to go. Each of the teams will spend 5 minutes to present, but there is going to be a hard stop. So Gunu will be tracking your time, and after 5 minutes, he's going to shut your screen and move to the next one. So this means even if you're not done, if the 5 minutes is over, you have to stop. Okay, that's the big rule that we have. And presentation order is actually announced right there on the paper. So we have 16 teams total, and that's the order of presentation we have randomly shuffled. And what's going to happen is that the team that's presenting is going to stand here, or you can use any of the space here to engage the audience more. But the team that's presenting next, so if you're a team 1, you should be presenting, but if you're a team 2, you should be lined up, right? So you shouldn't be sitting down, you should be lined up when the team right before you is presenting. Is that clear to everyone? The idea is so that we reduce the transition time, okay? And KJ will be here to coordinate the process, so check the list, and if you're up next, you should be moving. Right, so that's the information. And yeah, everyone in the team should speak. That follows what we've been doing through the DP. And some of you have asked, that's perhaps not the most engaging way to give a presentation. That's okay. The goal is for each of the team members to have some ownership and participate in actually communicating what you have done for the semester. Okay, and we also have this form where we want to get this votes for what the audience's favorite is. So there's no clear criteria for what makes a favorite presentation. Just use your judgment, right? So we have a form that lists all the teams, and you can pick your favorite presentation. And here's the link. VIP. Yeah, so while listening, make sure to pick your team. Okay, any question about how the session is going to happen today? Okay, seems everything. Okay.
So I guess there's no separate Q&A each time.
Right, there's no Q&A, but you can ask the teams afterwards. Okay, that's perhaps a shock. If you really want, you can cut down your presentation and give some time for Q&A.
No, we finished our slide with the Q&A, so that was a problem.
That's okay. All right, any other questions? Okay, so first team, please line up, and we're going to transition. And one last note is that we'll know that you'll be busy thinking about your own lines, but please pay attention to other teams, right? Let's show some respect and excitement towards all the peers' presentations.
Okay, this is team Rothaus, and this is team here. Okay, so we kind of redesign the food search experience for foreigners and vegetarians living in Korea. So think what problems they will face. First, they don't know Korean, right? So if you go to a store and pick a product and it's written in Korean and everything, and they don't know what to say for them or not. And also, the pictures are not really good. If you see, look at this, bibimbap is cool, it's vegetable, but actually we have meat in bibimbap, right? So it's not really good. So we found out after interviews that their top needs are they need translation of product name and they need to know that what it contains, like it contains beef or pork, chicken, whatever. And also we found out that they do need translation of ingredient list at the back of the food packaging because we found out they do look at the ingredient list if it's possible.
Okay, based on the needs of the users, we have formulated our point of view as the following. Foreigners that are vegetarian need to avoid products with specific ingredients because of their unique way of life. So our top common needs are first, helping foreigners that are vegetarian to find suitable products and making a bridge between vegetarians. Also, we aim to convince vegetarians to have trust in the translation. Our solution, Rothaus, is a website that allows foreigners with zero knowledge of Korean to search for suitable vegetarian products in Home Plus. This is the link to our website, so if you're interested, please check it out. The main tasks for the users were first to find a product called Babmutna and determine if the user can purchase it or not. Then we have provided a sample of product to the user, and they were asked to determine the ingredient list using a barcode search. Finally, we suppose that the user had a budget of 4,000 won. Then the user is asked to determine if he or she can buy it.
Okay, now we are going to talk about user interface. This is actually a screen capture of our website. And suddenly it's our main page, and our main page we have trending products and new products for every users and one. And this is our search bar. We search Halal and Halal bibimbap will come out straight and it's in our database. And once you click, the search result will straight away be out, and the ingredient list is already translated. And now they all have to check if it's accurate, so the user can type on the comments, may I know if the translation is accurate? And the person could post it up onto the comment section and wait for a reply from anyone if possible. And now moving on, there's another type of search that we have is barcode search. If the person is at the store and is thinking of they've seen the product and doesn't know the name because it's in Korean, you can take a picture of our barcode search and it will be decoded. And the search bar color will change from gray to red while it's processing. And after that, it will straight show the ingredient list as well. And lastly, it will be our filter search. Filter search, if my customer doesn't know what I want, has a budget of 4,000, I can include price as search. And this is the list. It will be sorted from the least to the most expensive item according to the filter search. And these are some simple screenshots of our main page. We have trending products, new products, and our search bar of Halal bibimbap, and user interface our product page with the ingredient list and the comment section, and the barcode barcode search before taking the picture and after taking the picture. And lastly is our filter search bar. And search result according to the price and the feature list.
Okay, at the end, some comments from the user testing. In general, the users found that our application is quite useful, and they also said that in the beginning of the semester it would be really nice if they had it, and also that it's nice that it's finally something in English. And lessons from the user testing, we thought that working in real time leads us to understand it better, what the needs of the user are, and to find out what the most important functionalities of our applications are, and the importance of icons, which can be often misunderstood, as you know. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi guys, so we're team mapping the world. I'm Andrew. I'm Azaman.
And I'm Kelvin.
So let's start off with a simple UI Hall of Fame and Shame, right? So here are actually screenshots of the floor plans from the N1 building on the left and the D3-1 building on the right. And so clearly, people like us wouldn't be heavy users of these floor plans, but for people entering a building for the first time, so for example, businessmen trying to get to a meeting with a client quickly, so they really depend on very usable floor plans. And when the information becomes unreliable, the consequences can become serious.
As one of our participants shared her story, she had to spend almost 20 minutes in order to find her lecture room, and that's in spite of the fact that she used external help, such as asking people for direction.
So we then found out the need after many iterations and trials. So we discovered that users want to find destination within a building quickly with minimal effort, and they also want to explore the opportunities within that building once they have time. So for our POV, so we met with a lot of people who first visited E3-2 building or the N1 building, and we were amazed to realize that despite having a pre-planned map that is given by the building itself, it is difficult for the users to understand that map. So we thought it would be game-changing to help them to minimize the effort in doing the map findings.
So solution to this might be something like a Google Maps, right? But what it lacks is, indoor support, mapping indoors, and support for creating your own events.
So in order to resolve that problem, we need something that's accessible and mobile friendly, and that has all these functionalities at the same time, as finding your destination, finding certain amenity, or creating an actual location, locating the event location.
So that's why we created Mapping the World, a mobile-friendly and social indoor map.
So obviously, like what you guys all did, we also went through a heavy iteration-based approach, and we thank the professor for providing such framework. We conducted 4 different interviews with 12 different people, and we conducted with their various nationalities, gender. And these are some of the milestones that we took: paper prototype, low-fi prototype, and high-fi prototype. And now we're here.
So let's get to the main task. So what did we actually test? We wanted to test real-life scenarios, and that covered every single activity. So for example, finding an amenity like a cafe, finding a user-created event like a meeting, or creating and announcing your own event.
So these are some representative screenshots of our UI. So the first screenshot is the title page or the entrance point to our UI. And these provide 3 access points in the initial screen: the nav bar, the search bar, and the pictures. The amenities tab also allows access to different types of amenities. And in the map, the current location, due to technical difficulties, is defaulted into the entrance of a building. And the location where you want to visit is denoted with an arrow.
So let's actually look at a real-life scenario. So let's look at scenario number 1. Okay, a student is running late to an interview to a lab. He needs to get to the N1 building RCD lab quickly. but he doesn't know exactly where it is, right? So on the left, you simply click N1, and then you type on your search bar RCD lab, and it'll give you, the map view. And on the right, if you scroll down, you'll get something like a Google Street View. So basically a sequence of images that if you just scroll down and you follow it, you'll get to your destination.
Okay, next scenario that fits to this task is a businessman who has a meeting with his client. So he doesn't know the location and he calls the client to ask the location. And he responds, it's in seminar room. But where is seminar room anyways? So it would be better if actual client creates his event and posts the location of the event and all that stuff in the application. And after that, businessman can actually scroll all the events and choose the right one and find the location.
So, scenario 3. So, just pretend there's a tourist who wants to visit Kais for some reason, and he wants to have fun and discover his environment. Also, he wants to have a drink because he's thirsty, but he doesn't know where is the amenities that he wants to find. So, for this, we use the amenities tab, and we click the cafe tab, and we go to choose some place, and we click locate map, and voila, we show the choose place tab.
Okay, some of the lessons that we learned. So in order to get a lot of feedback, there should be no guidance. And also, but not to focus on the task itself. It's better when actually they have some time to play around the application first. And also, you just need to point out some cosmetic changes in general. So that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you.
Hi, we are Chordplay. Let's get started. Through this interview and observation, we can catch the user's problem. Here are key needs and insights. First, the user wants to make covers that fit their preference. Second is integrate of various services can increase efficiency. A third one is the first-time players want to learn fancy playing style. So let's imagine I'm target user. Oh, I want to propose to my girlfriend by playing the piano and with singing. But I can play the piano but cannot read the chords, so I cannot play the accompaniment in Korean piano kanju. So what can I do? How can I do? So Chordplay. Chordplay can help it. Our goal is to redesign the user experience for creating piano accompaniment score.
So our POV is piano players want to easily make and play customized covers because extensive knowledge on chords is required, and it makes it difficult to create the scores themselves. It's hard to beginner. So we found 10 how might we questions, and we choose the 3 important questions. How might we discourage users from giving up, and how might we help users access notes to required codes easily, and how might we give user various types of covers he wants. So we thought out 10 solutions for each questions, and we finally selected 3 solutions. We didn't select solutions for the first question because the other solutions are more related to the more important user needs. So these are the solutions, and we gave 3 tasks. The first task is from how might we question 2, browse melody score and corresponding accompaniment score on the same screen. And the second one is add chords to and edit the accompaniment score by referencing the melody score and chord information. And the last task is from how might we 3, give rhythm and chord variations and to the accompaniment score as you want.
Right, so let me show you how the product looks like. So to start, the user can refer to a saved image of the score by porting it to our service. The title can be changed as the user wants. The BPM, which is how fast the music plays, can also be changed. And the required chord can be searched in the library on the left, and the user can listen to the chord notes. The chord can then be dragged onto the score, and it can also be deleted when the user makes a mistake by using the button on top. And also, the chords can be added with the keyboard and autocomplete functions for more efficient input. And after the user finishes adding all the chords, the user can select the rhythm and the order of the notes of the chords of inversion from a given template by clicking on the invert chords and change rhythm buttons in the top menu. So yeah, and then after listening to the chords, if the user doesn't like it, can undo the changes by using control buttons and modify the score to better suit the user's preferences. So yeah, here's the final result for that. Yeah, I would love to listen to this all, but I have time limits, so that just
Yeah, so before the iteration, it was hard to find input text boxes on the accompanying score. So we modified that the text box is focused when the user clicks the bar. And users wanted to listen to the chord in the chord library in advance. So we prepared some pre-listen function and some image for sound image. And we added on the function. And we need to do more iteration. For example, the entries of the chord library doesn't seem draggable, so we need to give more affordances, and user wanted to use right click to see the context menu. From the user testing, users did not behave as expected. For example, we thought that most of users will use the keyboard input to type and autocomplete, but some users use dragging, so we have to keep in mind at this point, and we are a little too lenient with our service as we are whenever we did. So some people could not find the import button. Also, hi-fi prototype testing was very different from lo-fi prototype, so maybe most of users could try more things bravely at hi-fi than lo-fi. So from now we are Chordplay. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Team 2008 and we would like to present you about our website recipe. So as many of you might have done, we changed our topic many times. One example that we would like to share with you is first, initially we set out the experience we wanted to redesign as chef's recipe management. So from the interviews, we got feedback and surprisingly we found out that chefs didn't have any problems with their recipe management experience. But instead we found out they like to get feedback from customers and they use that feedback to change their recipes. So we changed our topic to getting feedback from customers and we did another iteration. And often the chefs and restaurant owners go online to find their reviews. But however, we found out that these reviews lack in content so these reviews often do not concern the food itself. So that's why we chose this POV. So to summarize, a chef or restaurant owner wants to get reviews on each of the menus served from the restaurant because they want to improve their recipes based on this feedback. But these feedbacks do not concern the food itself most of the time.
Yeah, from all of our POV, we define our person like this, both is around forest and not very experienced with computer and web. And we thought this was the representative of our interviewees who gave us the insights to our POV. And this is we selected. We choose how many questions, and we selected the one make reviews more accessible. Because from our POV, our project is just chef and owner centered, not just customer. And from our POV and how many questions, we found this solution: dedicated review place for each recipe. Because we saw the two things. focus on recipe and feel accessible to reviews are the most important to our users.
This is our UI. Oh, what? Yeah. that is our first page, and we have 4 tasks in that UI. First is add or edit the restaurant to my restaurant page. And if we choose to edit, then this page comes. Or go to second task, that is to the recipe page. We can add or edit a recipe to a recipe page. We can also choose to edit or enter to the review page of each recipe. Yes. If you choose to edit that, then we can go to that page and edit the information. And third task is to filter reviews for that recipe in each ingredient. If you choose to choose ingredient, all of them, then it filters automatically by containing each ingredient in the review word. So last task is to comment to each review. We tested this UI to some chefs in BingBong, and we learned and observed some critical issues from that. First is the learnability of consistent UIs. That is, we chose breadcrumb for it is quite consistent UI, but for them it is not used to them. Second observation is that there were lack of helpful documentation. Our interviewees wanted to follow just the documentation, not just they didn't want the minimalistic UI. And third observation was that we used the Dominator for our prototype, but it was not matched for their restaurant, so they cannot immerse to the interview or the test. So it was our feedback and self-feedback and our lessons from user testing. Thank you. And end of the presentation.
However, for most people, it is too difficult. Most people cannot buy custom-built computer because they have no background knowledge. So, our target users are one is gamers who want to buy a new computer, but they have no background knowledge. And our users want a way to buy a nice computer without any concern.
Okay, so these are what our project needs. One is easiness to choose a component. One is cost effectiveness of every component. And the other is to ensure good gaming performance. So, first, to simplify the component choosing process, usual custom-built PC requires these 8 parts to choose, and sometimes they can crash on their own compatibility. So, we have hit some components which makes failure on their own compatibility, and now users can feel free about compatibility issues. Also, to ensure high efficiency components, there are 200,000 components, so we have shown only few proper goods and even chose something. Furthermore, to ensure high gaming performance, we have shown some user-level real-world performance metrics such as frame per second rates for users per game.
Now, let's follow how our users, our UI. At first, you will select favorite game as proposed and enter button like input box or fly the wizard. Then, select mode for both preference and customization level. During each three tasks, you will make complete composition within your button with different modes, which primarily aim on a different user needs, while maintaining overall needs. When you choose one-click mode, our system auto-generates the final composition. You only have to choose design of your new computer. After that, no, you can get the final composition while only choosing design. Some users might want to customize their computer for game performance. If so, they would like to use performance and fully customize it. Then, they will select CPU and GPU at first, and we describe what they all mean briefly. Also, we give frames per second rate for their favorite game as performance metrics. Moreover, we visualize them by graph and display the relative price for each component to help compare. Whenever a user hovers a select button, our price bar changes accordingly to visualize the price information. After selecting CPU and GPU, user will select RAM and storage options. To help a user's choice, we display only few best candidates, and we get proper tooltip messages describing which each option means. After choosing them, you only tap to choose design and then finish it. When you use another mode, the utility mode, you can place your UI element. This is intended to give different affordance for spending money to and reflect users' different needs.
After testing, we got so many positive feedbacks from our users. Since we made some impossible to possible, users love our interfaces. However, as Professor said, designers are not users. So most of our early ideas of ours are deprecated. For example, user didn't understand graphic chipset and graphic card difference, so we deprecated it. And user even didn't know the meaning of the storage in the main page, so we removed. Even now, for some messages were not easy enough for users. So they didn't understand performance and FPS rate, and sometimes they said they cannot see the video. In the last, we learned that the order of tests comparison testing, and we learned that we should more recruit users to get more usability issues. Thank you for watching.
Hello, this is Aydın. He's master from the Azerbaijan. Can you eat these cookies?
I can eat, but I need to first look at the ingredients, sorry. But unfortunately, I don't understand anything considering the fact that I'm only doing this in Korea. I'm living in Korea, so I need to find something to translate it.
Okay, yeah, I got your problem. Thank you. Hello, we are Outliers, and this is Jessica and Ashnar. And as you saw before, in the Islam there are some religious constraints on some food ingredients, such as lecithin or the gelatine. And so halal means allowed, and haram means restricted ingredients. And it's really a huge problem because some Muslims who don't Korean have really hard time for finding food to eat. One of our interviewees ate only bread and rice for the first 2 weeks until he learned some basic Korean phrases. So our POV is that a Muslim who arrives to Korea needs convenient way to classify products as halal, as he or she is not convenient translation is not really reliable, and we took like picture of this, but if like give it such result.
So we choose 3 tasks for our user testing, and we chose these 3 tasks because it was really important that each of the searching methods we provide to the user provides good usability for the user. Now I'll show you the sample task scenarios video. And this is what for the first one, which is search an item by name. So the user can search an item by name at the search bar, and it gets to this item overview page which has information. And we use visual cues such as the big haram sign and the red colored ingredient, so the user can get information at the first glance. And we have this comment section below, so the users can share information. This is for the second task, and the user can search by a category at the main page. And this is what our key feature of our website, as it enables searching by comparison of image and categories matching, which the user can search without translation. And this video is for the third task, which is search for an individual ingredient. And we provided this function because some users wanted to search for an individual ingredient and wanted a reliable translation for it.
We had some lessons from user testing. So we invited some users and they said like, yeah, now we know that it's haram, but like who said this, like who decided it? So therefore we added this important information for our user. So now he knows it's actually a reliable source. It's not me who chooses, this one is haram, this one is halal. We should actually have a real source for this. Furthermore, we have the comment section, which was already mentioned. And the reason is because there's not only one school of Islam who says this one is haram or halal. There are different schools of Islam, there are about 4. So sometimes it can happen that either when the item is actually haram, for me it's halal so I can eat it. So therefore in the comment section you can actually see that Merve is from Egypt and from the Hanafi school of Islam. So therefore if I'm from the same school of Islam, I can eat the cookies even though they're actually haram. Last but not least, our last user, he said like, here, you know, I will check the item only once. And if it says it's halal, I will just buy it over and over again. But what happens if the recipe changes and suddenly they add like chord into cookies or something weird, you know? Like how do you know? So therefore we added this list on the right hand side of our website. So now we see, oh shit, the finish they just changed so I can't buy it anymore. On the other side, like yeah, usually the recipes don't change every week. So the user said, I'm sick of seeing the same item over and over again. So therefore he has a choice just to close to see the same items. Alright, so thank you very much for your attention.
Hi people, we're team with Quartet and we're now going to introduce our wonderful solution for content managers. I am Jim Shi, the first speaker in our team. So if not lie. According to the recent research, we are consuming about 1.17 cups of coffee daily, and there are around 90,000 coffee stores in Korea. This means we are really close to the coffee, but does anyone know about how they work or which problems they complete? At least we do nothing. So that's where we started. How can we help them in HCI sense? To find out, we met up plenty of real users in Daejeon, and it was really a hard job. We visited 13 stores. Each of them are located in very different places in UC, but we succeeded to recruit 7 real users. However, there was still another problem remaining. We first thought they have similar needs, but in fact, no, they are quite different as you see. But we still made it. So many iterations over and over and after, we found out they have one similar need. They want to calculate the production price easily.
So why
cafe managers calculated the following the equation to get the profit. This is simple but cumbersome. So most of cafe managers estimate based on their own experience or by hands for every time. So they need a helper program. So this is our POV. Cafe manager want to know the production price when they are building a strategy. This is because it's a basic information for sales strategy. We find the HMW program instead of human, simple, error-free. So this is our solution. Helping calculating production price of menus and helping building sales strategy in cafe. So this is our UI. Let's look at the UI with simple task, making Americano. We will make Americano, so we need a new ingredient. So first, task 1 is add a new ingredient like a coffee bean. And next is add a menu, Americano. So the user write down the ingredient amounts and the sale price, then our program automatically calculates the profit. And users can see and change the information like amounts and the price.
And from the user test, we got one big positive feedback that is our solution is very easy to use, although we did not give tutorials. And the first reason is our solution is similar to recent apps. We followed the Google's material design guideline and we spent lots of time to building the UI. And we spent lots of time to user interview also, so we understood the process of the price calculation. So even though they are look different, but the pros are similar, so users use our solution too. And we just focus on the main feature. In row by prototype test, we add these price history record. We just add hidden usuries. So we reminded this sentence and we remove all the unnecessary things, and then user can focus on the main features. And but you just said we need more features because to create a spreadsheet, more information are needed like this. So we are going to add new features like the graph for sales volume in that situation. And thank you for listening.
Having this in mind, we came up with some questions that we call them How-Might questions. They appear to like very beginning of our journey. So we try to find some answers to them in order to make our website work better. So we can see them, and we are going to have a look at them one by one. So the first one is like how might we give the users actually to select the spices really that they actually want. Like instead of making them to look in the catalog or in the menu one by one that fits to them, we just add it in the search place spice rate, and actually there's hover so that they can understand what that starts mean. And that was the one solution. And the second was So how much actually? So having this in mind also, then actually we cannot expect everyone to have same spice rate for the same thing. So we needed to make some calibrations. So in the very beginning of our website, in sign up procedure, people are making some spice decisions. So after that point, their accounts are customized, like the website calculates only for them the spice rating. Third one was third task was how might we make the people find the restaurants that they want in the location that they want. Just basically add the location, and there is also an option for new link. These were our questions and our answers, and then we have some tasks. As I said, the first one is how to customize. We came up with the idea of customization. The second one is like finding the best location of the restaurant in like nearby or which has the needed spice rate. And the third one is also we have a map option that user can find the restaurant.
This is the main page of our website. It includes sign up and product rating for customizing users' personal preferences. And you may wonder why do we need this page. The answer is that at the beginning of our project, users asked, when they looked at this page, they asked, how can the website identify what does for me a particular spice rate mean? Our website is not based on this simple search of a restaurant, but on providing suitable options for our users. So, to achieve it, we first create a sign-up and customization tool, which includes in which users can show their attitude toward particular food product. And let's return to our main page at the beginning of our project. And when they looked at this page, they asked which fields are mandatory and which are not. We added, as a solution, we added indicator which can show which fields are mandatory. And and looking at this page, they asked also one question: does the star rating indicate the spice rate or the overall rate of the restaurant? And to not confuse them, we added the label when the user hovers over star. By continuing, user can find the restaurant by filling out search field and see it on the map. Oops, sorry.
It's a joke. And what did we really make?
So here is our key solutions. First of all, we let the user select the location through campus map without text. So we give them whole possible locations depends on each stores with images. And secondly, we made an identifier, which is really similar with this kind of things. So we organize all the information in a page by showing it. User can easily get their food without speaking Korean. Here's our main tests. For the first test, we want to test the cancel process of our services. And for the second one, we want to test the selection location page through asking them to order their food at taxi station. And finally, we want to know whether the identifier works well. So how is it utilized?
As you can see on the top, the navigator shows the user where they are, and by touching the icon, they can go backward. And after selecting menu, they can choose more menus or delete the menu with the card page. And by touching the pin on campus map, they can select the location where they can receive the food. And based on the store they selected, the available location is changed. And there are some pages that shows the extra orders stairs, and before the food started, the user can cancel the order. And finally, after food is delivered, user can get the food by showing this identifier. And then this is the picture of
First, we learned that availability of products is very difficult. And this image is Gmail application, and the circle means the sender of the email, but it is also a button for multiple choices. But I think it doesn't look like a button, and it doesn't give any sign that it's clickable. Similarly, in our top bar, it shows current step and over process of ordering, but it is also a button for going another page. But user testing showed that these top bar icons don't give buttons to click them. Secondly, during user test, it was difficult to distinguish between whether the user's behavior is intuitive action by interface or it is due to the facilitator's guideline. In order to check learnability issue, the facilitator cannot explain much about interface, but he must give some guidelines to users. So it was difficult to find the appropriate middle between them. And this is an over presentation.
Hi, we're Team Self-Explanatory, and we're going to introduce our platform, DYDI, an easy streaming application for busy fans, and don't being otakus or fans in English. So with K-pop is becoming much more of a hot topic, especially with BTS being the Billboard Top 1. But the thing is, society still has a negative perspective on fangirling and fanboying, which should not be the case. As you can see with P1, fangirling helped her go through her depression. Fans are not spending all this time and to waste their life. It's for them to help cope with their feelings and relieve their stress. And it's just like any other hobby you guys do, like soccer or reading. But the problem is with fans, they're really busy and they don't have enough time. And modern fans spend under 3 hours, with experts spending over 3 hours. And the initial bar to get into this culture is actually very high. The key words are actually hard to figure out, especially if idols have different names. In addition, as you can see in Stan Cafe, to join it, you actually have to answer questions such as the one down here where they actually give you the first letter of the words and you have to guess the lyric of the question, as well as submit streaming proof of
melon, and all of this is very time consuming and not feasible. So the moderate fans, they need easily accessible and more efficient ways of searching, as well as they want content that relates to them. So our KLB's users are moderate Korean K-pop fans who don't have enough time or information about where to find idol contents, and they need refreshing contents because watching them help them feel better and energized.
So these are point of view. Our type 3 how might be so how might we help us find the right content with more effort. How might we help us get content they need in different times and emotions of the day. How might we help us share emotions with other dogs. And solutions for each how might be will support easy browsing through the user interface, provide intuitive categories so ducks can choose in their favor, and have a channel to share the moment of fangirling as a job, which is memes or picture that has comments. Our 8 tasks were to browse through contents with and between categories, and even like jobs created by other dogs and create and share jobs with other dogs.
Alright, so I'm going to give you a run through of the thing. And so first of all, I'm going to sign up with my ID and password and choose my favorite star. And I'm greeted by this onboarding, which is like swipe left or right depending on which CRC, and also the categories on the top, for example, like cute song. Okay. And I also can start a video or make my own jar, which is a meme, or view jars by other people. Right. First of all, the categories are cute, fun, touching, and sexy. They're all based on the insights from our user interviews, and I'm going to choose sexy. Right. And I see this. Very nice. Very nice. Now I'm going to view and like jars created by other dogs, which is on the right low screen there, which says jar. And right. So I see that there are really nice comments, which are memes. Alright. And I think that I like the second one really a lot. It was really funny. I'm going to like it and download it. Right. Now I'm going to create and share jars with other people. I really like this capture. So I'm going to say like, I'm so hot here. And I'm going to share this and hopefully interact with other fans.
So the following are the comments from the users. The first comment is in the Kakao image. She gives an overall comment that she thinks users from the world will like our app. The second comment is she liked some of the features like swiping and the characteristic filter. The first lesson we learned is that K-pop fans consume sexy and cute contents of idols at different times to feel better. And the second lesson is that users don't read at all or forget very easily guidelines. Although we provided onboarding guidelines at first, users could not figure out the how to perform some difficult tasks. And finally, from our user testing, we found out that our app actually saved users time. In conclusion, as briefly mentioned in the introduction, there are a lot of stigmas towards the K-pop culture. Despite its prevalence, the society doesn't view K-pop culture the same way they view other hobbies, although there's not much difference. And the words that describe passionate fans such as otaku, 빠순이, 빠돌이 all have some degrees of negative connotation. So it was difficult to, we were very careful when interviewing fans. And we hope these small trials and small steps, along with other movements, will make a difference in the perspective on this K-pop culture. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Hello?
We
are BingBong!
Here is the Korean restaurant. Her name is Wei. She's an international student. She wants to experience traditional Korean food. Then she saw the menu. She can read Korean, but she cannot understand it. She chose menu.
된장찌개?
But she does not know about 된장찌개, so she wants to know about it.
Huh?
But the description is too long, and they are written by Korean people, and it is hard to find review by foreigners in Korea. What?
So this is all of shame.
I want to get information about Korean dishes
share their thoughts about dishes in Korea because it is hard to guess which dishes fit to them by looking through the list of information made by Korean people.
Then, PhD students tries to see weng-weng in a Korean restaurant.
Interesting. What's not over? Or how might we? And challenge totally Korean dish more easily. For solution, I'll help them see others' comprehensively review comprehensively and rhetorically.
Hey, graduates!
Oh, professor!
You are going to learn for find foods with name and see other reviews and make simple reviews and find foods that fit them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I cannot sleep today again. Then how would I do this? Aha! I would make a review as a set of simple keywords that users can like, add its own one, and can search with it, which best fits to hashtag review system.
So here's today's number. And today's three-letter word is N. So you guys have a picture for me. If you type this link for your smartphone right now, then you can see our work immediately.
So I'm finally made it!
Wow!
Do you want me to show you?
Yes. How can I search for dishes in here?
There are two ways of searching dish. First one, you search by its name. And second, search by hashtags. This hashtag is made all by users, and it contains a keyword that represents characteristic of each dish. For example, 된장찌개 has the top two hashtags of smelly and hot.
Oh, then how can I make reviews?
If you click on the existing one, the number increased by 1 and you can agree with it. Aren't you curious about making your own review?
Oh, yes!
Yeah, good question. If you click this open button, the new blank appears. So if you just type in this blank, you can add your own hashtag review.
So here is this lesson for user testing. We usually know many things, and let me introduce just two. We usually know the tutorial is strongly needed for user because they feel awkward for our prototypes because they are familiar to fancy app and something else reasons. And the button for style button that seems to clickable is important, and feedback is important too. Yes. And thank you.
We are
BingBong.
Alright, so hi, we are HelloCampol. Today we'll briefly outline how to develop our project to understand and improve the campus policies like for our components. So let's get started. So when you're going through the assembly road and you met a drunk person on a very cold winter, if you left him alone, he may be dead. Then what are you going to do? You may call a campus police. So regarding the overall process that your report is delivered to the campus police, you may find several problems. For example, it took a long time to deliver the report to campus police, and also the report description may change as well. So our idea was how about removing such an intermediate steps to resolve such a problem to help KAIST campus police. From the moment we interviewed the stakeholders in KAIST, and we additionally found that there were more problems than we thought. So we decided to set up our point of view as follows. Campus police needs to communicate with students directly and influentially because it took a long time to get requests from students, and the students usually do not read the important announcement.
And these are the top 3 common questions that we come up from the POV. and how might we make user feel excited while handling requests, and how might we help user get request information more detailedly, and how might we make announcement more easily and fun. Simple, yeah. So this is our solution, which is the integration of common questions, and this is the bi-directional feedback in mobile environment. And this enables the direct communication between the Campol and students, anywhere, anytime, fast, and easily. So our main tests are total 3. First, monitor receipt requests with the category and location information. And second, monitor the feedback of completed requests with the satisfaction level. And third, create a new announcement and upload it to the social media.
So before we move on to our interface, since our campus police cannot read the English, so we implemented in Korean, and we're sorry for international students. So let's see our interface. So in task 1, you can see the list of the requests on the map, yeah, you can see, and you can filter it by the problem category. And if you open it, then you can see additional information, including students' information. And also, you can push the green button when you finish some tests, or you can reject the request with some reasonable explanation. And task 2, you can monitor and track the completed request. So here you can see how students satisfy and how students comment to the campus page. And also for the unsatisfied students, you can add some comments by clicking them. So here he will say sorry, we will fix a bit later. And task 3, we're going to make a new safety announcement. So user just need to select card use template among four of them and just slide over, and you can take a closer look to the card use. And also you can add some notice to this announcement by typing this. So let's write bicycle loading today. And then you can upload it to the social media with the preview.
I will explain what we learned from the user interview and HCI class. There is some difference between Campol's needs and our expectation. And user interview tells us that difference. From the interview, we figure out that Campol want to leave comment to students, so we add comment function in our code. And they want to make announcements to students as we expected, but they said there are not many topics, so we decided to give them some selection option in advance. When we first started the project, we only thought about the efficient way to help them work. However, as we interviewed the Campol, we realized that their needs are not only about their work. They want to get closer to us and feel rewarded by their work. The more we understand our user, the more we can satisfy our user. For all HCI class, we learn through campus policies.
So before we start, do you know the international kitchen in KAIS? The tag number is 77. How much do you know that? 100 international students using that, and 40% of them is Pakistanis. And this is our target. Hi, your team name is Babmutna, and let's start our presentation. So I already explained our target user. So what's the problems and this? They make a biggest group and they have a specific point. They make a small groups and they make a 2 weeks duty and menu schedule. And specific point is that 3 people cook for 40 people every day by rotation. And they use the Facebook group dynamically. But unfortunately, Facebook group is not a suited platform. They usually check their own duty and sometimes change, but it is hard when using Facebook groups. Also, they can't be using Facebook groups when they're cooking.
juniors doesn't know anything, and seniors have to lead it, but they can use Facebook groups.
This is our point of view. Pakistani students at TyTy need an integrated management system that can organize and coordinate their diets because they have specific food restrictions and they cook together in a large group every dinner. This is our how much we questions. How much we make them to check today's menu and cooking progress whether the cook is ready or not. How might we give a better way to check their own duty dates for cooking? How might we give them a better experience to exchange their duty dates when they cannot participate on their cooking?
So I'm going to explain briefly what the solution and main tasks. First is solution. First thing is we try to provide recipes for chefs, and second, provide alert function that users can alert that dinner is ready. And third, users can check duty dates on calendar menu. And lastly, users can exchange duty dates easily without sending message on like Facebook ad. And our three main tasks. First is to check today's menu and its recipe, and announce that dinner is ready. And second, check when and what we're going to cook with whom. And lastly, exchange duty dates with another member.
So we'd like to show you our UI demonstration. So, first task, user on the left is on duty, on the right is not, and they can both access the recipe by clicking the menu, and they can check the task ingredients and automatically synchronize with other users. And only the one on duty can switch the dinner's ready status. Task 2, they can check their individual duties on their duty session. And for task 3, they can press the exchange button to request exchange. They can select dates, multiple dates, and multiple users to send their requests. Once they send the request, the receiver will get notifications. They can either accept or decline, and once they accept, it will automatically reflect it on the schedule. Through our user test, we learned three things. The first thing is that for the user test, we compared our prototype with their pre-existing Facebook group, and by doing that, we were able to compare and see how well we have addressed their needs. And we learned that one of the participants for user test was actually a previous interview participant, which we can have some background knowledge, and that had some significant bias through on our test. The third thing is that through our testing and field setting, we were able to detect some usability issues that we could not imagine at all. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you.
problem, we made a POV. People who are not native speakers for Korean are unfamiliar with the terms that Koreans often use, and conversation often become awkward in many situations. Now, how might we use NPCs to conversation learning? Like this board. We use this board when we make various NPCs, and with the chat-like UI, people can learn their conversation. And for flexible conversation learning, we make some choices. And with the test and vocabulary at home, people can learn more efficiently with our app.
So our service has three main tasks or three core features. So the most important task is the first conversation learning system, which is based on chat UI, as you've seen before. To maximize the efficiency of learning, we also added two more tests. So one is safe vocabulary list, vocabulary in some vocabulary list, and the third, we also added some review feature. So we provide a simple test and one test to reconstruct the conversation and review the conversation. So let's talk more about the first feature, conversation learning system. So we provide various kinds of situations we can face in the real life. When the user plays one of the situations, the user will face this UI. So we developed the UI to look like we are chatting, like Facebook Messenger. So user will open this app and think that, oh, this is a conversation directly.
We implemented conversation benches by providing these candidates, and there are various endings for each situation. Thanks to dynamic and selected conversation flow, new conversation learning experience can be provided rather than the constant and fixed ones in textbooks. And by using these word puzzles, users can learn how they are used in everyday conversation. And moreover, users can add a word in the vocab list, and with the sentences that the vocabulary is appear. So with this feature, users can learn the vocabulary within the context, not the isolated vocabulary.
Now, here's what we have done for the users. So the one feedback we like is that the users actually like the interactive conversation feature, and we were very glad about it. So previously, our users have been using something like this to learn on everyday context situations. Well, so this is a textbook, and this is very far from authentic conversation experience. Well, our solution is not exactly perfect, but this is much more closer to actual conversation context, and we provide a good experience to them, and they liked it. So about the HCL lessons, so we noticed that the user kind of goes with what they have. So for example, when we first implemented this, we didn't have the sound icons, but the users told us that they wanted to hear how these sentences actually sound like. So we implemented the sound feature, and they really liked the feature. Also, we are consistently reminded that we are not the users. So when we first made this, we didn't know how much English annotations and comments and explanation the user needed. So we asked the users, and they told feedback, and we iterated back and forth so many times before finally settling down to our final form and getting the right appropriate amount of annotations for the users. This is it.
Hi, we are teams doing Quartet working on the project name together. We focus on the exchange
worth to scan through, and also they like to fully understand all the contents that are not written in their mother tongue, and moreover to make more chance to communicate. They like to know others' interests so that they find someone to do something together. So, as such, we confirm our point of view as exchange students in KAI's middle way to meet people because language barrier and isolated channel makes them hard to come up with in KAI society. Following questions pop up in our head right away. So, how might we gather information that one needs, and how might we know others' interests, and finally, how might we find a mate to do something together? We thought these would answer the following questions. If we classify all data and information and reflect the user's matter of concern in real time, then users are able to customize the platform based on their needs. And also, if all users' information are provided quantitatively, then users would refer to the contents so that they would understand the global trend of interest. And finally, on top of that, if users are able to create a post of their own, users would able to organize an event that attracts many others' attention.
So we decided 4 tasks to test our product. We believe that this task is fitted to our user needs and how every question. So main tasks are find at least 5 predefined tags. Choose one tag you like and find an event that is related to the tag. And find how many undergrad students are interested in the tag. And lastly, create a new event. So we're going to show you a video using our website. So since the tag list over there is empty, we are going to add tag food, Busan, and computer. So if the user clicks this HCI seminar, then the detailed information page is shown. And if the user clicks the translate button over here, then the translation is shown. This translation is done by Google Translation. And now let's create an event. Assume that we are recruiting CS students who are interested in hiking. So let's go to the popular page and you can see the ranking of the tags here. And if the user clicks this hiking tag button, then the statistic is shown. And we can find that over 20 undergrad students are interested in hiking. So let's go to the feed page and create an event. To create an event, user needs to click this plus button. And the user writes the events about CS hiking. And enter the computer tag and hiking tag. If the user clicks the submit button, then you can see the CS hiking event over here.
So this is the brief summary of our user interface. So the above 3 parts are all our solutions, and the screenshots are the concrete implementation of our solutions. For example, you can see a translate button to provide customized information for an not familiar in Korean, and you can see the pie chart graph to show statistics. From various user testing, we learned a lot, but here we introduced 2 major parts. The first one we learned is that users have a wide range of skills. With the same implementation, we had 2 user tests, and the CS major students showed they just took less than half the time the physics major test user taken. And the second one we learned is that things that are straightforward to designers are actually not straightforward to users. Originally, our purpose is that the gray button tag is the actual button, and if the user click it, the statistics pops up. But however, we failed to use it in the user test. So we learned that users are always right in this course. Thank you.
Okay, let me start. I know you're tired, but it's our last presentation for today and it's last lecture, so please share more. Our name is DYDI and our topic is total management system for pet cafe. And before we start, we gather some survey about our needs for target user. Firstly, they need to make ways to manage multiple pets. It means, for example, in this video clip, there are 36 cats in one pet cafe, so it's very hard to recognize and remember each pets. So we have to prevent users from forgetting tests and make statistical reports from past records. And in addition, we wanted to provide ways to collaborate with other caretakers like customers or part-timers. So here is our POV. Pet cafe owner needs to manage schedule and overall statistics of pets because traditional methods are not feasible for providing such information at once.
Based on this, our how might we question is how might we summarize the user's data into a clearly designed overview and notify the users effectively without bothering them and give a way to manage tasks collaboratively among multiple users. And here's a solution what we found in our project. First, give weekly statistics for each task group and arrange a schedule for the workers and give some notification to next worker. And it gives users a quick view of the task and its status. And here's our main task. First, see and analyze the weekly statistics of your task and add new to-dos which are recurring or not. And see and respond what tasks should be done.
And here's a real quick demo of our services. And this is the preview of our service. So we can select the menus from here, and you can see all of the contents from here. You can also fold and unfold the menu bar. This is a set page, so you can add schedules from here, and you can add tabs or view tabs from here, and shift job shift table and statistics from here. If you click that tab, then it goes to the main page. In the main page, there are timetables and memos. And memos are like a memo for the next employee, and you can see and delete memos from the notification tab. And for the task page, you can add schedules in this calendar. If you click any part of this calendar, then a schedule form pop up, and you can fill in the form. And you can also add groups from here, and you can write the notification body and so like that. Creates the schedule here. And you can drag around the schedules in the calendar, and you can select this timeline and mark that as complete or not. And this is reflected on the statistics page, so pretty neat. And in the pet tab, you can also add and delete tabs, so you can just fill in the form, select the image, and type in the age and characteristic, and it's you can also do it.
So here are some methods from our user testing. So first, the users tend to give feedback beyond our predetermined questions. So it was nice to just let them really introduce their ideas and thoughts. And also, we suffered from exercise effect because there aren't many pet cafes in Daejeon, so we recruit same testers over and over. So the problem is that they tend to find less learnability problems because they were familiar with the previous low, mid, high, 5 prototypes. And let's summarize with some of the pictures from our user testing sessions. So this was the difficulties of our user testing. And they snatch all the papers. So thank you for listening.
Okay, that was all 16 teams. Who can you zoom in? So now the poll is open to choose your favorite presentation. The URL is bit.ly/CS374 -VIP. And we will give you 3 minutes to pick your favorites. Okay, so we'll close the call now. Looks like we've got enough folks. Okay, now I'm the only thing standing between you and pizza, so I'll make it quick. So it'll be like a 10-minute ending session. So first of all, let's congratulate all of you for the fantastic. Yeah, really creative work, creative ideas, and also creative presentations. So I was really inspired and it was impressive. And so let's not end there, let's share it with the world, right? So we will actually link all your final slides as well as videos on the course website. So we'll add a section on the website called Project Gallery, and we'll announce once it's live. So advertise the gallery to your projects, and also you can archive it for your own purposes. And revisiting those once in a while could be quite fun. Okay, and now we're going to announce some awards, and here are some categories. So there are 5 total. The first is most human-centered, meaning that, so the selection process was that the course staff has gotten together and discussed for each of the categories which team we think is the best fit for the category. So most human-centered basically means the team really followed the spirit of this course, user-centered design, by really carefully understanding the user needs, constantly communicating with them, getting feedback, reflecting that in the prototype. Most extreme user is the team that has reached out to possibly most difficult user population, who is going through some unique challenges on their own, and has done a great job of designing something for this population. Best implementation is sort of team who has put a lot of time and effort into making the product itself really feature complete and rich in interaction. And finally, most creative is a team that has come up with a really creative solution for the problem in a way that has not been sort of introduced by other systems that are doing similar things. And finally, people's choice is a team that has earned the most votes from you all. Okay, and luckily none of the teams overlap, so we're lucky that the People's Choice team is different from the other 4. Okay, so we have some awards that are printed. So if I call your team's name, all of you should come out, and I'll hand you the award, and we'll take a photo. Right, most human-centered award goes to HelloCampol. this team has won 28% of all the votes. And the award goes to Mapping. Right, so please bear with me for the last 5 minutes. Okay, so what have we learned this semester and what's next? So if you remember, this was sort of the beginning premise of this course, right? You will master the skills to design useful and usable interfaces that are carefully catered to users' needs. So let's reflect on the process and see if you actually accomplish this goal. So what you learned: design principles, design techniques, and implementation techniques. And of course, we started with this lesson. We're not the user, but we have basically told you that this is the case, but it's great to see that many of you have actually felt it, experienced it yourself, and it was great to see those reflections in today's presentation. And we started by looking at what usability means, how well users can use the system's functionality. Something you might have thought of as, kind of the visual eye candy. It's not actually just the visuals. It's actually how the system can support the user to accomplish the task that they want to. So dimensions include learnability, efficiency, and safety, but different users and systems have different priorities and requirements, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So in terms of vulnerability, we looked at these terms through many of these examples, which you now think is pretty bad, and you hopefully can't explain why it's bad, right? And also we looked at things like affordance, information sent, locus of attention, and feedback, and why these things matter for the user to learn something. And efficiency, we looked at some of the models and ways to more quantitatively understand the performance of how a user can accomplish certain tasks. And finally, in terms of safety, we looked at different ways people could make mistakes, and also how we can design for users to recover when they make mistakes. And then we moved on to the process aspect of it. So user-centered design is really at the core of this class. So if you remember one thing from this class, this has to be about this process and constantly talking to the users in the middle, right? And we talked about this design funnel. As you go through, you might have felt that over the course of 8 design milestones, you've narrowed down to the problem by eliminating some of the other alternative designs that you had in mind in the beginning. So this is what happened in the class. So this was class 2, just like ages ago now. We had the 1-hour accelerated session of the entire process. But you were able to actually make something and show to your neighbor who was the user and gave feedback. And then your team now started this design process, thinking about the users and their insights, and led to the POVs, and you drew them in storyboards. And then we turned them into lo-fi prototypes, like paper prototypes that you could test on actual users. And lots of testing to get user feedback to iterate on. And then that led to lo-fi prototype, and I'm honored to be featured in some of these examples. Then we looked at these techniques to help you actually implement some of the ideas that you had, by going through these design techniques where you could prototype different things with different levels of granularity and also level of detail. And we also looked at how we can evaluate the success of a UI, right? And it's not as easy as just giving something to people and get some numbers. There are different ways with different strengths and weaknesses. So it's really meant to give you like a toolbox, right? When you encounter a certain problem, we want you to think about what is the best combination of the user-centered design methodology and evaluation methodology and implementation technique that you could combine to tackle that problem. And we looked at some of these principles of visual design and layout, and went into implementation techniques, looking at how water and glue toolkits actually work, and some of the fundamental principles in programming user interfaces. Then we, in the near end of the class, we looked at some of the modern topics like social computing, interaction at scale, AI, and HCI. And then we had invited 5 PhD students working in different areas within HCI and Python. Learn from them what research is, how it differs from the design projects that you have been doing this semester. Okay, and I want to take this time to thank our fantastic TAs. Job helping me design this class, and they were really an integral part of making this into a class that it is right now. Okay, and some last notes. So HCI is a really exciting field, and hope you are convinced a little bit after this semester. And you know, ChillzZz is a really vibrant HCI community across the campus. So there are around 20 research labs from 4 different departments. So as you might have noticed, it's a highly interdisciplinary field. So if you're interested, you can look at this website. And I want to emphasize that we are good at HCI. So TyTy 2018 is the top premier conference in HCI. ChillzZz is world's number 8 in terms of the number of papers that's published. We're kind of in between Stanford and MIT, so and CS Rankings is a website that ranks all the schools in the world for each of the areas. And look at where ChillzZz is. We're world's top 5. So again, we're doing pretty well. So this is a great environment for you to get engaged in HCI research. There are many amazing faculty across the campus. So please make sure to check them out, talk to them, get experience working as an intern or independent research and so on. Okay, and we do these activities. We have this ChillzZz party at Chi, which draws 200, 300 people across the world. And there's a seminar series. Some of you have actually stopped by some of the seminars. We have those summer and winter workshops where we exchange ideas and our research progress. So, so what classes to take next? Now you have taken the intro to HCI. So in the fall, we have this kind of okay-looking class called Intro to Social Computing that I will be teaching. So if any of you is interested, I can assure that it's going to be slightly less work than this class. No one seems to believe me. Then we also have CS374, which is the HCI class at the graduate student level. It's going to be more about the deep technology and theory aspects of HCI, as well as slightly more focus on physical computing, which was the part that we didn't really get to much in this class. But also there are related courses in mobile computing, graphics, computer vision, NLP, and machine learning. And in case you haven't noticed, the CS website now has a curriculum guide for different areas, and interactive computing is one of them. So please make sure to check them out. And also, as I said, other departments have fantastic classes as well. So I want to strongly encourage you to check these classes out too. So industrial design has these design-focused classes. Industrial engineering has those more data and engineering-focused classes. Culture technology has these really exciting domains. Things like multimedia, game, AR, VR, and sound. Okay, so I'll end with some final thoughts. So we talked a lot about human-computer interaction, where a computer basically could be like a desktop or mobile. But near the end, we also talked about how we're not limited just to these devices, right? We can think about human AI interaction, human algorithm interaction, human sensor interaction all around us, human VR interaction. So whatever computing technology that is out there, there is going to be some interaction issues, and that should be the focus of HCI, not surprising. But we should also consider trade-offs, right? So now that you have mastered all the skills to understand usability, now take a look back, and usability is one of the important dimensions of the entire system, just like many other disciplines in computer science, right? So now let's think about how we can combine all these elements of a computing system along with usability perspective in mind. right? So often you'll see that usability can be in conflict with certain dimensions, or it could actually enhance those other dimensions. So hopefully by taking all these other classes along with HCI, you can gain a broader perspective of what makes a computing system successful. And then, hopefully this is something that really sticks with you. And you don't have to memorize anything, right? Because you've gone through this, there's really no way going back, right? User-centered approach to all your future projects. You can apply to any project, not just HCI research projects, but any kind of engineering efforts that are user-facing could benefit from this user-centered approach. And now you've learned how to do it. Hopefully you can convince your colleagues and collaborators that this is not an option, but something that you have to consider when you design something for users. And also, we're all users, right? A lot of you have realized that you didn't understand the users well enough, but you are also users in this for these other systems, right? So let's try to have some respect and compassion for the people you design for. Because this HCI is all about something for humans. And finally, let's try to make the world better for all of us, right? Because I really feel like the world needs more people like you, these engineers who have the balanced perspective between technology and humans. And to be honest, that's pretty rare, unfortunately. But hopefully this is a start of many of the more advanced steps that you will take to realize that vision. And thank you so much, and let's celebrate with some pizza.